Hey guys, welcome to another video in the tutorial series about creating Tetris within Minecraft. And in this tutorial, as promised, we'll go over the function that is actually going to be used in drawing tetrominoes, deleting them, and scanning particular locations to see if a rotation or a movement is clear for a particular block. Now, let me just go ahead and show you guys the output here. Alright, so let's make sure that our cursor is right here. And this is going to be where our cursor drone starts off in the little test sort of function that I wrote. Okay, so cool. So this is upright position. By the way, the number that I'm passing in right here is the orientation. So the 0 orientation means upright. Okay? So this is our upright, looks to be a J block. So it looks like we move our cursor drone up, that's the first location. Then we move our cursor drone right, that's the second location, up, and then up again. So let's just go ahead and make sure that this reference sheet that we're looking at before is working right. Yep, that's upright. Cool. So let's try the next one. Right side down. This one right here. Right side down. Looks to be right. Yep, that's right. So it goes up 1, 2, and then that's where our first block is. Cool. So let's try upside down. Cool. It's like the exact opposite of this one right here. So that looks good. And then we'll do finally left side down, which should be the exact opposite of right side down. So cool. It looks like the output is correct. So let's take a look at the code real quick. Okay, so here's like a little main function that is just for testing, basically. So that's a little trick you can do if you have a kind of a big project and you want to test out smaller functions and methods that you're doing by having this right here. And this is kind of known as like a driver application. So this main right here sort of sits in for the real main. So I rename the main that runs when we want to play the game main_real, and then I name my main driver main. So this is what actually gets executed. So you just can easily swap them out. And then use sort of like a little driver function for testing these different methods all on their own. Just a good little side technique that you guys can use. And so the first thing that happens in main is we're defining blocks and defining the orientations, which as I mentioned in the other video, if you want to follow along, you could have already coded these. If not, they're right here. These are just enumerative data types. So these, as you see, the reason I could pass in 0 and get those different orientations is because upright means 0, right side down means 1, upside down means 2, etc. Okay, so that's what those do. Back over to the driver. Okay, so we'll set a new cursor drone. And then there's the key part right here. We're getting a location list from location. So we're setting this new variable location list to get locations with our cursor drone, our block type, and our block orientation. And then we're getting material, and I'll explain these functions in a little bit after we come back. But then lastly, we're looping through each item in our location list, and we're moving our cursor drone to this alias list, this alias variable from list, and then you're using our cursor drone to place a block of that material. Then our loop goes through again for the next location and moves the cursor drone to that location, and then places a block again, on and on and on. So what we end up with, we know that a location list, if we come back to our output, we know that in this case our location list is going to have whatever locations above this block, whatever locations to the right of this, whatever locations up from here, whatever locations up from here. So it's going to contain those four locations. And yeah, so it's important to understand that we separate getting the locations from drawing the locations. That way we can reuse getting the locations for a particular block at a particular orientation, so that we can use it for deleting, drawing, or scanning. Okay, so we can reuse those locations for different types of things. So it's really good stuff. Okay, so now that you basically understand how it's supposed to act and what our locations need to return, see if you can get it working on just the I block. Experiment with that, getting locations, making a function that takes into account the block's orientation, and for now just have it support the I block. Just see if you can get it working with I block just by itself, all the different types of orientations. And then when we come back, I'll show you guys how I implemented this whole thing, and if you guys want to sort of meld it into how I've done it or something like that, then you can definitely do that. Or if you just want to completely scrap yours and do mine, or completely scrap mine and keep the way that you've done it.